everyone, I'm Sifu Au Yeung, and today we got Sifu Siukee with us. Today we are going to talk about the Fook Sau. Fook Sau again, is we got 3 Fook Sau in our first form. It must be meaning something. So in Chinese, the Fook Sau is mean waiting or waiting for a chance, to go in or defense. It's just like a standby, if you like, standby status. But how about you, Sifu Siukee? What do you think about interpretation about the Fook Sau?
In my interpretation, I see the Fook Sau as, if I translate it, I'll say to suppress or to subdue. So when we look at the, like you said, we see the Fook Sau 4 times, I think, if we look at the form. And to me, the Fook Sau is an expression, it's an internal tune. So rather than an actual fixed position, it's actually an expression. So the expression comes from either the Wu or the Tan, because from our system, it's really about we intersect with either the Tan or the Wu.
So it's in between 2 techniques, yeah?
Yeah. So if we take it from the Wu, then the Fook Sau is going to come from. So we number the fingers, basically. He said, if we number the fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll talk about a tune. So how we start the tune. So if it was from the Wu Sau, we were in the Wu, then the tune will come from 5, 4, 3. In which case it will go like this. If we intercept from the Tan, which our Tan looks like this, so we'll have the ball here, then the tune will be 1, 2, 3, in which case the tune will look like this. So it's actually, if we don't actually start the tune, we don't actually have the tune here. So if we took a snapshot, say for instance we had it from the Wu and we go into it, then you'll see that at one moment in time. So it would just be a snapshot of it. But if you run the whole film, what we'll see is that if we start from the Tan, we'll come up from the Tan here and we'll go into the Wu. From the Wu, we will have from the Fook Sau, we will have the Wu. So we come from Tan into the Fook Sau into the Wu.
Yes. So it's similar. The way I do it is I teach my students just put different concentration and different rolling. Then we achieve just more or less the same thing. So I think the best way is we can do a demonstration to show the audience actually how this can be applied, because people don't understand what they've been paying to it. Yeah. So in a minute we're going to show some demonstration how to apply the Fook Sau in the outward and inside, outside gate, inside gate, in the internal aspect. Okay, right. See you later.
Okay, if we look at the Fook Sau in the Wing Chun system, what we have is that we have the sequence where the Fook Sau is repeated 3 times and also along with the Wu. So the Fook Sau is very important because what it represents is that it's a way in which we can move our bridges forward into the opponent's defences. Now, the Fook Sau can be delivered from either the Tan Sau or the Wu Sau. So if we just start with having a look at the interception from the Tan Sau. So if Sylvester throws me a punch here, what I have is that I have an interception with the Tan. Now, because I have a bow structure in place here where we have equal tension going through all the tendons, if Sylvester was to push down on that, it wouldn't make a difference if it keep on pushing, if I brought it close or brought it out. But the problem here is that even if I can hold the power, I have no means of bringing my bridge forward into his defence. So if we look at the first internal tune that we're playing with the Fook Sau here, is that we're going to have 1, 2, 3 here. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to play that tune, and what that does is that it opens up the opponent's defences when I'm using that particular tune. So in essence, what I'm doing is that I'm just pulling the thumbs back to bring the energy back here and playing the 1, 2, 3 tune. Now, of course, we can intercept with the Wu, but if we use the Wu, it's exactly the same. We're not looking at a fixed structure for the Wu. What we're looking at is we're looking at an expression. So the expression or the internal tune for the Fook Sau from the Wu side is going to be 5, 4, 3. So what happens is if we get a punch from here, what we have is that I've got a connection from the Wu and I'm going to use the 5, 4, 3. In using the 5, 4, 3, what I do is that I open a position. Again, what I do is that I bring the primary bridges, what we use for interception, into the opponent's defences.
Hi everyone, in this episode we want to talk about the Fook Sau. Actually the Fook Sau, how does it work? Fook Sau is designed when your arm is outside, your opponent's arm is inside. So the first one is when you feel the energy coming in, first thing you have to transfer the force into the ground. The only way I can do it is I sitting down and apply pressure on here. But this is only the initial movement because he's able to keep coming. what I do is I turn my body, I turn my weight. In this way, I will able to redirect the force. He pushed me, I sit down and turn. Now I'm connected to him. So this is why you can see his center is affected by me. So if I turn, he turns. Can you see that? So if you punch quick, same thing. I still can attack him because when I turn, I redirect his balance into here, and then I create a perfect opportunity to go in because his weapon is going this way and my weapon is going this way. Okay, so the Fook Sau again. First thing, sitting down, transfer the force. He punched me, transfer his force into the ground, and at the same time you can do the turn. Then this way you already disturb his balance. At this time, I'm going to get into attack and finish the guy. Okay, so this is the way we apply Fook Sau. Hopefully you like it. Thank you.